Yep, I figured Mike was still in here, popping in and out, waiting for me. Behold. And Edna, don't blame. If you come back in, don't blame Mike. Thunder and the lightning. Hi, Smooch. How you doing? Misbehaving. Yeah, but it's not your fault, Mike. You don't do it on purpose, do you? Sometimes it just comes out. And all that crap. Bad. That was bad. I should grow back. I don't feel right. I don't feel right. Took it too low. So how's everybody tonight? The, what, 2 of us, 3 of us, 4 of us, 5 of us? I'm not in yet, so I can't help it. No, I know you can't. But I hope you're having a good day. Well, I hope you had a good Saturday since it's officially Sunday and all that crap. So, yeah, I figured I'd get, like I always do, give a little time for people to wander in. I'm sure Edna will stick her nose back in here sooner or later if I say her name a couple times. I hope everybody else makes it. I don't know who's streaming, if anybody is right now. I don't worry about it. Just to hang out. We do if Gemma's watching, sneaking to watch, I'm gonna make her watch herself talk about vampires, her favorite subjects. One of her older ones. You too, my friend. But I honestly do hope everybody's having a good night. Everybody coming in. Yeah, like I said, I start about 12:30 or so. So may start sooner. Who knows? See how it goes. I hope everybody is having a wonderful evening. I'll repeat that as people come in. So yeah, just gonna hang, and then we'll see what happens after. It's usually the game plan. Hey, Juan, how you doing? What's up? You'll be here Wednesday night. Maybe I'll slide you in. You can rap a little bit. See if I can get Ryan to come on. Yeah, I don't know. He didn't do a very good job. I don't really like the way he cut it. I'm picky. Hey, John P., how you doing? Blessings to you, sir. I hope you're well. Yeah, I'm not very pleased. I'm pretty picky. Actually, I like my hair long, but when it gets wavy and starts doing, they used to call me Flyboy when I worked for Hackingers for a while at a hardware store. And I'd get these wings. I have them on Wednesday night. I'm gonna try to get Ryan around too. Become my little Wendigo buddy. Mike. I got the whole group in here almost. Mr. J, Mr. Lightning, Mr. Behold, Mr. Thunder. Here's your hashtags right there. Yeah, if you sound like me, but this is my beginning one. I'll probably have one about midway through her video, and then I'll have one probably before I leave. Got to have my coffin nail. Yeah, really good tonight. Actually, it's been a pretty casual day. Went to a Mother's Day birthday party because my daughter's birthday's tomorrow too. So we went over and had kebabs. Yes, hugs for Gemma. She needs them right now, so big hugs for her. Goats just a goat. I feel like a goat right now. All I need is the horns. Thanks. Well, when Gemma's around, this is the only time I get to talk. So, bless her heart. But I love to listen to her ramble, so I have no problems. Yes, happy Mother's Day. And to the ladies, if any ladies are watching or ghosted, happy Mother's Day. And to those fathers who are out there that are raising their kids alone, happy Mother's Day. And Father's Day coming up. I don't even know if my dad's birthday sometimes falls on Father's Day. It's my entrance one. Yes, it is your entrance. Hey man, I know when I don't see that pop up in chat, I know you're not around. Suppose that. Mm-hmm. Or the behold. Actually, it's the behold. Mm-hmm. Then the thunder and lightning, or them together. If I don't see those, I know you're not around. I figured you're done gone and blown somebody else up. I burn them and you blow them up. But I also do ice too, so I can freeze them. I'm a dragon of many talents. And we got one. And Smoochie, I hope if you're still listening, I hope you're having a good night. I hope things are getting better. They will. Life's a pain in the butt sometimes. Just got to fight your way through it. Everybody's having no smoke. We'll have a smoke real quick. Yeah, I figured Edna will pop in here. Usually about 12:30. I keep saying her name only because we've been giving each other crap. There he is. Yes, I'm not a non-descriptive human. Citizen, whatever you want to call it. I'm just a little old dragon deep in a cave in a basement somewhere. Under a basement. I hope you're well, sir. I didn't get to you today. I was pooping when I came home. Dad cracks me up. Pop cracks me up, man. Doesn't want to go. But when he gets to Gavin, then he'll say, I got to go. It's time to go. And then he had a blast. He ate good. We came home and I just pooped. I still got laundry sitting on the bed. So you may hear from me tomorrow. Laid back tonight. Yeah, it is pretty a laid back night. I've been chilling. Played a little bit of Doom. Played a little bit of Darksiders. Played a little bit of Fortnite. And I've just been chilling watching YouTube. Ghost is locked in a cave surrounded by magical seals. Enchanting defenseless circus. Yep. She's got me locked up pretty good, dude. You know, I'm deep in that cave under that basement. We've got a fairly long chain now. I can't complain. She doesn't know about all my back caves that I've dug out. So, you know, because dragons are good diggers. So I come and go. I figured how to pick the lock years ago. But she gives good waffle sandwiches, so I stick around. That didn't sound right. Light them up, get drunk tonight. Not much. I don't drink. I probably have maybe 1 or 2 drinks a month, if that, or every couple months. I haven't been out for a while. Oh, that's not true. We went out. But they don't drink at probably if I asked for it, they would have gave me one today. Birthday party. Because the ex drinks. Her husband drinks. But I'm not a beer guy, so if I'm going to have something, it's usually something martini or like my Long Island iced teas. Gives good waffles. Yeah, I know. It didn't sound right at all. I know. I'm a little ashamed of myself because I came off totally wrong. Cheeky boy. Next week. Next time she sees me physically, she'll probably smack me upside the head. That wasn't meant to sound the way it did. Good. Oh well. Gotta love her though. So did you not have any interviews over the weekend, Ryan? Like, since I don't bond anymore, I don't bars. I stay home. Yeah, well, she don't put bars. I don't have no bars. And like I said, she thinks she's got everything locked up. I picked them years ago. We clever dragons. But you know, like I said, she feeds me good. No shows today, thank goodness. I bet you I get to relax. No crazy streams with crazy people. Huh? Wendigos. You sure they're not Wendigos? They might be Wendigos. That's why they're going after you. Or skinwalkers. Never thought about that? The people on YouTube. Isn't it great? Such love. The crazy is still here. The crazy is still there. I figured, yeah. Windy goats. It's really windy here. It is really windy here. It was pretty funny. We were eating outside at the party, and I'm sitting at the table, and this big gust of wind comes on. A paper towel rolls, hits my cup. I see the cup tip just in time to scoot back, but I still got nailed. But I almost had the wet pants syndrome. I lucked out. Yeah, it's windy as crap. It's been windy all day. We're always saying Wendigo, but they never. We're never asking why he goes. We're always saying Wendigo, but we're never asking. I read that totally wrong. Why'd he go? Wendigos. Is that something if you say 3 times, they'll come looking for you? Same thing with. I should be careful what I say because I don't want to make fun of it. Even though I do, they'll probably come after me now. When I do get in a place where there's a Wendigo, we know who you are. You make fun of us. No, not really. And just because you eat Cheetos in the dark, it can be kind of terrifying at times. But yeah, I'm going to do one of her older videos tonight. 2 years ago. I think it's one of the ones she talked about. It's one of the first ones I think she talked about real vampires. Now you can say the name, just don't temper where I'm with. Yep. Pod can knock you. I'm not even going to say it. Every time I try to see these things, I scream up or have dreams about them. Nope. But I do have dreams about Skinwalker Ranch, which kind of bugs me now. It has for the last 2 years. Some of them are so vivid. I don't know why. And they always seem to take place in the past. I heard the only way to kill a Wendigo is to cut out its heart. Is that true? Yeah, that's a good question. What do you say to that, Mike, Mr. Ryan, Mr. Wendigo man, Mr. Cryptid guy? Isn't usually magic with magic, basically, but a shaman can also exercise to free the person from the whipping code. Oh wow. I figured they could be exercised. Isn't it like basically it's a demon, right? I mean, being real. Yeah. No, that's a good question. Yeah, I can too. Makes sense. Now, what I want to learn more about is these other things that look like pale crawlers. I want to call them rakes, but I don't want to call them that anymore. I'm trying. I still see them sometimes following people in like a ghost kind of misty white form. So I've seen them like in real time and in this kind of, I don't know if it's like it usually depends on how far gone the person is. If they catch the possession soon enough, they can exercise it. But if the transformation is set, then death is the only release. And that makes sense too. It really does. Anybody else got some questions? We can do this for a little bit before I start the video. Like I said, I'm going to have her do her. I'm going to try to come in the chat too. Yeah, man. Let's see if it screws with me. I figured those are good questions. I figured with as bad as G, well, they rated the solar flares now X flare G5. So that's extreme. It's lighting us up again. So tonight, maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow probably really good. Aurora Borealis. Yeah, that should be real strong tomorrow. Real strong. We got a little bit of them. I should have left the area and went further north where it's not so. I didn't have to go. I wouldn't have to go that far. You could see at night. We had clear skies last night until about early this morning. It rained, but last night, if you went out on the porch and turned off the lights, you can see kind of a bluish purple hue, and every so often a kind of a green. I didn't see any red, but it was real faint. I think a lot of it had to do with the street lights. My camera wouldn't even pick it up. I even tried a long exposure. You could just barely see it. Like, screw it. I'll go tomorrow night. Now that I know we got hit again with bigger ones, I'll head up north tomorrow night and go check it out. No questions. No further questions. I've never had an encounter, but definitely believe they're out there. Oh, there's things out there that people don't even know about yet. So I'm guaranteeing it. There's some freaky stuff out there. There's freaky stuff out there that one person may see and nobody may ever see it again. So, yeah. Good Lord only knows what's coming on and off this planet too. So we're in this existence, however you want to look at it. Yeah, oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, I know a lot of people like you might agree with that. You only knows, man. Who knows what's coming and going? And it's good picking up. The veil is lifting. It's been pretty good now. More and more people are seeing stuff. And a lot of it, too, is there's more cameras now. But really, did it really pick up? Or is it just that now everybody's got something to record what they can? You know, it's instant phone right there. That it makes sense. Time we got 12:22. Okay, I'll start the video at 12:30 while we all hang out. So 5 people, hello, welcome. Those who are ghosting, I hope we're just chilling right now. I'll start the video at 12:30, like you said. Like I said, I'm pretty casual tonight. Like always, I take my there you go, take that thing. Gemma's got one. She's got one posted. I don't know if she posted the other one. Let me see if I can find it. Dun, 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 dun. She posted her 11 o'clock video, and it's the Watcher of Westfield. Let's see if I can make this nice and purdy. This. Nope, that's not going to work. I gotta go back. What a poop. Yeah. Do this. And go back. Such fun. Okay. No, get rid of that. I'm worried, but that will do. Go here. A cold wind can be a bad thing, Ghost, especially if you hear this name Wendigo carried by it. Best to run at that point. I don't know. I'm a pretty curious guy, to be honest with you, Ryan. I'm probably one of those guys who would probably go look. At least go try to get a look. I may not stay, but at least go try to get a look. Okay, coming over here. Let me do this. I think it's ready. This is her 11 o'clock video for Monday. Screen right here. There we go. Let's see what it did. Did it not go on there? There we go. Let me do this. There you go. There's our video for 11. Don't forget Tuesday Talk with me and Ryan and Gemma. Well, Gemma, Ryan, and me. I just kind of hang out in the background and let these guys talk because I love listening to them. Both of them are good going. It's kind of Tuesday, we're not going to have that, right? I need to become a Wolverine and find a Hawk. That way we can take on the Wendigo. Get it? Yeah. Somebody's been reading comic books and just loving them too hard. Yes. Actually, I like the Wendigo comics. I have the ones they did with when they did when McFarlane was doing the one Spider-Man series in the. Yes, I do too. But yeah, that will be her video for Monday. It should be a good one. And I don't know what she said what her 12 was, but I can't remember. She probably won't post it until tomorrow. Get rid of that. Ooh. Yeah. In the picture. Yeah, I know you were talking about the picture. Yeah, I got you. That is a neat house. And then, short, like I said, I don't know what her noon is. She said, and I didn't know. Yeah, with the Wendigo. Yeah, I know. Yes. Yes. I'm not even going to read it because how's that for a bad sign? I cryptozoologist. And it sounds like about right, though. I mean, if anybody's going to become a Wendigo, it's going to be one of those guys. I mean, they're out there in the field looking all the time, getting too nosy for the good. So there you go. Perfect, actually. And yes, it is a bad sign because you're into that more than I am. So be careful. And you're out there in Arizona, so I wouldn't worry about the Wendigo as much as I would worry about the skinwalkers. But remember Tuesday talk with me, Gemma, and me and Ryan. Then I'll be on Wednesday night. I'm to midnights again, so I won't come on at 10. I'll be doing a midnight show. I like the midnight shows. It lasts a couple hours. Sometimes it may last longer. See how this flow goes. Same thing like tonight. I'll probably stop about 2 if it doesn't get too crazy. I'm not noisy. I'm just curious. That's me. I'm not noisy. I just want to get up there and get personal. I want to ask a few questions. Then Pixie's off this week. So no Thursday. Friday, Gemma for Oracles. And then me again, unfortunately. So, and then I'm usually here Mondays. I try to be here for the videos on Monday. She hides. She might be hiding now. Probably beat me up. But yeah, I figured I'd do one of her vampire ones in case she is. Make her watch herself doing vampires. Talking about vampires. The only reason I always wondered about Wendigos and skinwalkers is because I've known about that place for a long time. I've always been curious. But the Wendigo thing, I didn't hear stories about Wendigo until I was in my late 20s. I was like, what are these? It sounds like some things I'd seen. And then, see, because when I was described a Wendigo, they were bear crawlers. That's what I always said to a person. That sounds like a pale crawler. Pale crawler to me. See, I can't. And then, I started to learn a little bit more. And then Ryan came along, blew that out of the water. 0.4454. I'll tell you what, I don't understand why people don't carry defense with them when they go in the woods. You see these people go unarmed. You see stuff, you at least got to have a knife or something. I mean, come on. The Wendigo became really popular after, back we made it the mainstream, yeah. In the Stephen King novel, yeah. Well, it was a little bit before the novel when I started hearing about it, but that's about the same time, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't either, Mike. I wouldn't trail without it either. Some kind of defense, anything, something. Oh yeah, I would be carrying something. A little bit of everything, actually. I'm always prepared. I always try to be prepared for anything and everything. It's hard to do because anything and everything could happen. King is a huge fan of the Wendigo. Yeah, he is. I know. Well, he lives up there in Maine. I mean, he's really not that far from some of that lore. It's mentioned in number. Yeah, a lot in his book, actually. A lot of his stories. And there she is. I must not have said her name enough, but she still made it in. I'm exhausted. I will probably fall asleep. Oh, Edna, I hope. Well, get some rest. So you know how I feel about that, Edna. You need your rest, you get it. But I hope you're well, dear. See, I can't even talk tonight. I'm all tongue-tied. I talked a lot earlier today. I was off and on for a while. You're carrying it. Yeah, I agree with that, Mike. But I hope you're well, Edna. Yeah, gotta get rest, get rest. I only pop it on their video, so you'll probably fall asleep doing that. I'm gonna play one of her old ones, one of the vampires. So if she's sneaking a watch, she can watch herself talk about vampires. I think it's one of the first ones she did. Yeah, I'm gonna probably slow down on it pretty soon. I'll probably find something else to do on these nights because I don't want to do her whole catalog. I'm jumping around. I'm leaving certain stuff out so people go look at it, here or over at that R word. The R word. Actually carrying a tomahawk I was gifted it by there you go. Navajo friend. There you go. I bet it's nice too. I would carry a tomahawk. For sure. For sure. I'm in an odd mood tonight. Bear with me. I'll behave so Anna don't yell at me tonight. Hey, Mike, you weren't the only one that day that was getting a little flirty, schmirky. Edna's just doing her job. I had a funny feeling she was watching. She does that. She's sneaky. She's a sneaky lady. It's actually quite sacred. Oh, I'm sure. I wouldn't use it then if it's that type. I'd be having that thing in the proper place. So you must have done something right, dude. Yeah, I can see you're a good guy. You come off as a pleasant man. So my granddaughter's 13th birthday party, exhausted. Edna, I went to her birthday party today too. My daughter's Samantha, my middle one. Her birthday's tomorrow on Mother's Day. So the ex and the hubby did a little gathering this afternoon. So I went over and had kebabs, took pops. He always cracked me up. Him and Eddie, her husband, became buddies because they both are mechanics. Or dad was a mechanic. So they like to talk shop. Eddie loves it because nobody ever talks shop with him. So they become kind of buddies. Eddie's real attentive to him when he's there. It's kind of cute, kind of nice. And but we went over and had kebabs and cake. Dad always puts up a fight, and then it's hard to get him to leave. I'm ready to go. And then 5, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes later, hey, AK, how you doing? Yeah, we had chicken and beef. He made teriyaki kebabs, which was really good. What you making, AK? Or are you taking a break tonight? Crazy weather bugging you. Oh, she was and is now. You never, Mike, with Gemma, you never know. She could be watching right now. She's going, come on, play my video. She gets a giggle out of us. She knows we have a pretty good time most of the time. So, but yeah, she was watching that Monday, and it was so funny. I had a feeling she was. That's why I try to get quiet. I didn't want to get in trouble. sausages and sirloins with baked beans and Mexican corn. There you go, bro. That sounds awesome. Actually, it does sound really good. Yeah, we had kebabs. He did a good job because he has a smoker. Man, this guy buys a new grill every year. He's like, got 6 of them. I told Tina, I asked, I go, man, this guy likes to cook out. And he goes, he would do it all year if you'd let him. So I got a cough drop in my mouth. I'm trying to keep my mouth. Been real dry. Been extra on that algae medicine. There's cottonwood trees. They love water. So as much rain as we had, there's going to be a lot of cottonwood coming off those trees. Cotton coming off those trees. Some of it started already. Man, our irises got so big this year. Like all the blooms, there was a couple of them that had like 6 blooms on one stem. I know they get 2 or 3, but man, they were literally falling over. Our flowers just all of a sudden. Yeah, it does sound good, doesn't it, Mike? And like I said, I just ate kebab a few hours ago. So did you have a good time, Edna? And wish her a happy birthday for me. Is she the ornery one? She the one that's really bright? At least she is in that picture. If that's her. Oh, she's much younger, right? Man, that whole family's bright. I'm glad you guys are going to work together. That's important. Yeah, it ruined a few of it. We're getting the wind now, dude. It was windy all day. But it was nice. I mean, the wind was the only problem, but it was nice. It was cool, mid-60s. Cloudy. Now the sky's clear. I'm hoping maybe, I don't think you're going to see too much tonight. There's a little bit of a lull in the Borealis, but I guarantee you tomorrow night it's going to be bright. A lot of people are going to see that one. I've seen some beautiful pictures. Darn phone, yeah. Phone always goes on. Wow. I always say goodnight to the boss. So the only way she talked to me now is that she's going to yell at me. Great time. I followed Pixie's advice to the letter. All went well. Good girl. I'm telling you, hon. You guys stick together, you'll be fine. You're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. Aren't to be expected. Some may be rough. Just remember when there's a lot of gifted people in one area, that beacon is really bright. So, kids stay together. A lot of love and understanding. A lot of unconditional love and understanding. You guys just fine. You might be better than fine, actually. You might be a lot better than love. Northern Lights just looked normal last night here. Did they? How far down are you, AK? I know up in northern Texas, they had them real nice. I seen some really nice pictures that were out but they were also out in the middle of nowhere. The key with when you're that far away is just like anything else, there's little light at night is the best. If you can get as far away from city lights, you see them so much better, especially from the distance they're traveling. Like I said last night, like I've seen light blues, not I would say purples, but like blues and some greens. Didn't see any red, and it was real faint in the distance. You could see in the horizon it changing, kind of just above the light brightness. It's not real bright here, but it's bright enough to dampen it. Now, I'm sure if I would have gone straight up High Street into Delaware, where there's hardly anything, I probably would have gotten some good pics. And you got to kind of adjust your exposure too, from what I was told. Great time. That's so awesome. I'm so happy, Edna, for you. Do what you got to do. You know, tore up your tomato plants. I'm telling you, they'd been whipping through here all day. I expected when we got home, I expected to find branches in the backyard. They got a couple old trees around here. I'm sure they've seen their Indians and mountain gophers. Ryan must be busy eating Cheetos, taking the dog out, or smoking a cigarette. But anyhow, let's get this started. It is 12:40. I'm rambling. I'm just rambling with you guys. That's what makes it fun. Let's go ahead and start this thing and see if I can stay in YouTube chat. So, but actually, the good point is I should talk every so often during these. Here we go. Let me get it up here. What is up, you folks? What does we have a date on this? Yeah, 2 years ago. Let's talk about real vampires. Let's see if I get this to share. All right, there we go. Sure. Put that again. Let me switch it around for you folks. You don't want to see my ugly mug. There we go. And let me know if you guys, we're all rambling. Yeah, we are rambling. I love it when she rambles, though. When I was with her, she probably did. When I went and saw the 3 times I went and saw Gemma, she probably did most of the talking most of the time, which was fine with me. Okay, let's start this sucker. I figured I'd do that. Okay, make sure, let me know you guys can hear this, okay?
You guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, just welcome. My name is Gemma Jade, but today we are going to be discussing one of my most favoriteest topics, if not the most favoriteest in the entire world, and that is vampires. I wanted to find encounters, and just like the first video, real encounters, it just didn't work out for me. As you all know, or maybe you don't yet, I've had a lifelong obsession with vampires, okay? The real and original creatures of the night, though, not the so-called real vampires on YouTube or wherever else they're running around claiming to be real until their mom or someone else who knew them growing up gets fed up and decides to oust them publicly and shock the internet and online world. I'm also not talking about the sparkling and twinkling variety that lives hundreds of years just to do nothing better with their life than perpetually attend high school in search of the perfect teenage girl because she's the chosen one or whatever that story is. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, though. I definitely have watched and read every single one of those books. Every single book I could get my hands on, including the aforementioned ones in the young adult fiction section. But no, though. I'm seriously talking about the deadly kind. I like to romanticize and assume they're all either like Eric or Bill from True Blood. I can't even lie, but I mean, you get the point here, right? It seems that for the most part, and on the rare occasion I do come across an actual alleged real vampire encounter, it's anything but romantic, as you can probably imagine. It's a lot like, but not entirely like, Lestat from Interview with a Vampire, only, again, less romantic. Sometimes even more gnarly and creepy, as the ones I told in my first video about the same subject. I just can't get enough, but unfortunately, it seems that most of the time, those young adult and even mature fictitious tales are all I have to go by and all I have to lean on. Vampires are one of the very few things I haven't experienced in my strange and mostly paranormal life. They fascinate me while at the same time, some of the encounters that are said to be real are so incredibly grotesque. I am, if only for a moment, happy to have not had the displeasure of an actual encounter. Anyways, guys, this is just kind of talking about vampires that allegedly existed way back in the day. And this is all I can find, but I needed to do a vampire video. So many of you have been asking me about real vampires.
Actually, she's the one.
Guys, I want to see one just as much as you, okay? I want to be turned too. The history of vampirism dates far beyond the fictional stories of Dracula and those dang adorable Cullen boys. Written accounts of evil, blood-sucking beings have been found in medieval texts, and vampire-like remains have been unearthed at a number of archaeological sites around the world, with findings published in actual scientific journals. There are modern-day reports of vampire sightings and even accounts of people stepping forward and admitting to being a vampire. Vampire-like animals and insects are scientifically known and proven to exist. So is it so far of a stretch to believe that vampire-like humans or vampires are among us too? Highgate Cemetery is a burial ground in London that dates back to 1839. This particular cemetery had a somewhat strange architecture, which was, believe it or not, highly sought after by London's elite. However, 15 acres were dedicated to members of the Church of England, and 2 acres were dedicated to people who did not belong to the church. On May 26, 1839, the very first person was ever buried there. It was a 36-year-old woman named Elizabeth Jackson. Totally irrelevant, but there's some history. In 1854, the cemetery gained an additional 20 acres due to economic prosperity, and it was connected to the existing acreage by an underground tunnel system. Always interesting.
See you on the flip.
Highgate Cemetery boasts elaborate and eccentric architecture with buildings and catacombs. The gates to the cemetery closed in 1975, unfortunately due to bankruptcy. However, a society named the Friends of the Highgate Cemetery was created in order to preserve the cemetery for those families who maintain grave ownership there. Extensive conservation and restoration work has been undergone on the cemetery, and it's currently open as both a functional burial ground and a popular tourist destination.
Very true.
Speaking of London, as recently as 1970s, there was a so-called media sensation which focused on alleged supernatural activity behind the gates of the Highland Cemetery. A group of young people interested in the occult visited the cemetery in the late 1960s, around 1968, and this was a time when it was being vandalized by random intruders. It was reported that, quote, on the night of Halloween 1968, a graveyard desecration by persons unknown occurred at a cemetery in London.
Like
these persons arranged flowers taken from graves in circular patterns with arrows of blooms pointing to a new grave, which was uncovered. A coffin was opened and the body inside disturbed, but their most macabre act was driving an iron stake in the form of a cross through the lid and into the breast of the corpse, end quote. Nobody was ever caught or held accountable for this strange and somewhat macabre vandalism, but at the time, at least for people interested in and paying attention to such things, this report was linked with something called the Highgate Vampire Case. A man named David Ferrant reported that on Christmas Eve of 1970, he was passing the same cemetery and had glimpsed, quote, a gray figure, end quote, lurking about among the graves. He reported this in the local press because he said he knew it was a supernatural entity of some sort and was curious as to whether or not anyone else had seen something similar. On the 13th of February, people began to respond to his question in the same newspaper, and they ended up describing a great variety of ghosts or specters. And honestly, a lot of people laugh and mock this, but for someone like me who sees this kind of stuff all the time, well, wasn't really that funny. It was, I guess, a little strange though. These included a bicycling spirit, a tall man in a hat, which I believe is reminiscent of, at least in my opinion, the shadow entity Hat Man, a ghoulish face glaring through the bars of the cemetery's gate, a strange and ghostly apparition wading through a pond, a pale and gliding form of sorts, and they also claimed to hear whispering, disembodied voices calling out to them, and even bells ringing, which, if you've been following me for a while, if you purchased my book, you will know is also a sign of the Fae being near. So anyway, these ghosts and other entities were not only said to be haunting the cemetery itself, but a lake that was adjoined with it called Swain's Lake. A man named Sean Manchester almost immediately decided this figure originally seen lurking about was a real vampire, and the panic began. The media didn't help the frenzy, but stirred it, much like they do today, in my opinion. They released tales of this particular vampire being a vampire king, and there were also rumors of occult practices happening in the graveyard among the recently dug graves of the newly departed and buried. So apparently these two men who were making the most noise about the report started a weird and macabre rivalry. They would go back and forth with each other, each one exclaiming that he alone could defeat this vampire king who was roaming about the cemetery at night and possibly even feeding on the blood of the visitors or random teenagers with nothing better to do who ended up there after a night of too much partying.
Do you have them all, Mike?
Manchester declared he would hold an exorcism on March 13th, 1970, which just happened to be a Friday. Manchester, Ferrant, and others who claimed to have seen supernatural figures in the cemetery were all interviewed. These interviews were broadcast on the ITV network early on the evening of the 13th, and within 2 hours, a mob of so-called hunters from all over London and beyond swarmed over the gates and walls into the locked cemetery, despite police effort to control them, to get them out of there. It was a complete and total panic and frenzy, as I said. Nothing seemed to have come of this supposed seance, though. A few months later, on August 1st, the charred and headless remains of a woman's body were found not far from the catacomb where the king was said to rest during the daylight hours. On a later night in August, Ferrand was found by the police and arrested for being in the cemetery with a crucifix and a wooden stake. He said he was hunting the vampire who he and many others were now convinced had killed this poor victim who lost her head. The charges were later dismissed, but the damage was done, and the media got a hold of what he was carrying with him and arrested for, and everyone kind of just latched onto the fact that there was indeed a vampire, perhaps a vampire king, living in the London cemetery. So a few days after this Ferrand guy was arrested, of course, Manchester then had to make his own mark, and he claimed that this time he and his companions forced open the doors of a family vault, indicated by his allegedly psychic helper who he had in tow. He says he lifted the lid off one coffin, believing it to have been mysteriously transferred there from a previous
the campfire one.
So
there's two of them.
Levitating and moving coffins, or just appearing coffins, I don't know. He was about to drive a stake through the body it contained when a companion persuaded him maybe that wasn't the best idea. So reluctantly, he shut the coffin, leaving garlic and incense in the vault instead. I think it prudent to mention here that both Ferrand and Manchester were magicians by trade, and it was rumored that on April 13th of the same year, 1970, which was also Friday the 13th, so March 13th, 1970 and April 13th, 1970, allegedly, according to my research, were both Fridays the 13th. And these two magicians by trade were going to have a magician's duel in the cemetery, but that was just rumor and speculation, as if everything else wasn't. I really don't know, guys. The mass hysteria, unfortunately, is actually really sad if you think about it. It resulted in the destruction of graves and the desecration of corpses. Some of these corpses were found later to be headless, stabbed with stakes, or even set on fire in what was a really gruesome turn of events. It was surprising, too. Teens were digging up graves and defacing the bodies of these long dead in order to stop what they saw as a potential vampire uprising. Now, this seems like kind of an over-dramatized modern-day version of things that happened all the time in previous centuries. And I included it here, though it's not very scary and maybe amusing to some of you guys. But I included it just to show you what I'm dealing with here in trying to find actual cases of real vampire encounters with some or any sort of evidentiary proof that they actually exist. I believe there could have been a vampire lurking about in the Highgate Cemetery, and he could possibly still be there. I'm not doubting that. I just think how everyone behaved created a mockery of it, and that's probably what the vampires were depending on, right? Like, that's probably, this vampire was probably like, man, these humans, they'll be a-holes about it and they'll be gone soon enough. So here's another account of allegedly real vampires lurking around in cemeteries. Well, at least that's one piece of legend that seems to be very prominent in quite a few cases I've recently come across. This allegedly all took place in Mineral Point, Wisconsin in the 1980s. The following was written by author Lynn Gibson, and it was in her blog in 2013. Quote, in 1981, reports began to circulate about a vampire that had taken up residence in Mineral Point's Graceland Cemetery. Initial reports of activity in the graveyard prompted Officer John Pepper to investigate while patrolling the area one evening. Pepper entered the cemetery and began to make his rounds when he saw a tall, caped figure with a pale white face. The vampire, startled by this intrusion, fled from the officer who, by instinct only, gave chase until he saw the creature leap over a 6-foot barbed wire fence. The officer stopped in his tracks and returned to his squad car to make the report. He and a group of officers would return to the scene in the morning and attempt to follow the creature's tracks found on the opposite side of the fence. Not much more would come of the event other than some ribbing by fellow officers. The story fell silent for quite some time until March 14th, 2004, when police responded to several reports of someone sitting in a tree outside of an apartment complex that would leap upon his victims as they passed to enter. The description given by witnesses matched John Pepper's suspect from the Graceland Cemetery case. The creature remained at the scene until the police arrived. They reported that a 6-foot-tall caped figure leapt from the tree and fled. The police gave chase, only to find that the footprints disappeared at a 10-foot concrete wall. The area was scoured, but not a sign of the creature was found beyond the concrete wall. Once again, the story fell silent until July 11, 2008, when the police were dispatched again when a terrified young couple arrived at the station to report a tall, caped figure with a white face had chased them. The witnesses, a young couple that were fishing off of a jetty at Ludden Lake, reported that they had heard noises coming from beneath them while fishing from that jetty. The couple stated that there was scratching under the wooden surface and that they could hear splashing and something climbing up beneath them. One of the witnesses, Brandon Hines, stood and began to stomp on the jetty, thinking it was an animal and that the noise would scare it away. He reported that this stomping only drew the creature closer to them. He shined his flashlight between the boards of the jetty to see the caped figure climbing up beneath them. He froze in horror as his girlfriend, Jamie Marker, fled the scene. When the creature approached, Hines threw the flashlight at it and fled behind Marker to their parked car, where she sat waiting for him with all of the doors locked. Hines entered the car and started the motor. He could see the caped figure speeding towards them as he jammed the car in gear. The couple fled to the Mineral Point police station to file their report. 2 patrol units were dispatched to the site but found nothing other than the young couple's fishing gear that was all still accounted for, with the exception of the flashlight. Mineral Point was one of the first communities settled within this particular area. Mining was the main attraction in the 1800s. The newly installed railway system brought wealth and population to the small town, as it was where the tracks ended. There are many stories of ghosts and paranormal activity within the area. Perhaps one of the haunted legends of Mineral Point contains a clue of where the vampire could have originated from, end quote. There also seems to be a werewolf on the prowl in Mineral Point, or at least there was back when this vampire thing was going on, or I think in the 1980s.
Sunday night,
I have to leave that for another time, though. It's not really the right video. We're Team Edward right now.
And I'll put
So what do you guys think about that one? It's nothing if not at least a bit creepy, right? I mean, a pale, caped figure. I'm not really sure. I wish a vampire would just approach and offer to turn me already. Here is a little overview of a few seriously questionable legends from around the world of vampires, which I might go more in depth into each one at some point later on, depending how you all feel about it, of course. After all, I aim only to please the masses. By the end of this, most will probably still be just as confused, and in some cases, as with myself, disenchanted about the legends of old and new, still hoping they're out there somewhere and looking for someone awesome to turn. That would be me. I'm just saying. In Bulgaria, vampires were said to start out as ghost-like creatures before they could physically rise from their graves. In its early stage, the vampire could only be seen faintly by the human eye. During the night, however, their forms gave off easily noticeable sparks. In 1863, the village of Dekikau, and I am definitely pronouncing these wrong, was reportedly plagued by a mob of young, sparkling vampires. I guess I was wrong about that one, huh? The vampires attacked villagers, screamed outside their homes, and threw cow poop at pictures of saints. Although the vampires had not yet taken physical form, they could still be seen sparkling in the streets. An old witch eventually decided that enough was enough, and she went to the local cemetery. When she found the vampires' graves, she realized that they must have been escaping through the holes in their tombstones. The witch sealed the holes, and Dekikuau never experienced trouble with vampires again. In his 1837 work, Travels in Crete, Englishman Robert Pashley recorded a strange vampire story. Before Pashley had visited Crete, a shepherd had unknowingly fallen asleep in front of the sepulchre of Katakana, a local kind of vampire. That night, a voice in the tomb asked the shepherd to move his weapons, which the shepherd had accidentally left in the shape of a cross. The shepherd figured that the voice belonged to Katahanas, but agreed to get out of the way if the Katahanas wouldn't hurt anybody. So he's like, yeah, I'll move my stuff that's in the shape of a cross that's obviously bothering you for whatever reason, you evil being, if you promise don't hurt anyone. Sure enough, though, and somewhat unsurprisingly, the vampire killed some newlyweds on this first night out and returned home with a liver. The generous Katahanas offered his guest a piece of the snack, and then the shepherd left to tell some priests what had happened. A mob later gathered at the tomb and burned the creature to ashes. However, one fingernail had to be set on fire twice before it was finally destroyed. In the late 12th century, historian William of Newburgh recounted a story that he had heard from an elderly monk about a reanimated blood-sucking corpse that stalked the area of Anantis Castle. The vampire had once been a Yorkshire man who took refuge in the castle, possibly fleeing from his enemies or from the law. The man had been a terrible person while alive, and he was even worse as a vampire. His stench poisoned the air wherever he went, and he was always being chased by howling dogs that the devil had sent after him. After the town was all but depopulated, two brothers finally decided to do something about it, and they went to the cemetery and dug up the vampire's body, and they smashed it and hit it with their shovel. The vampire's body was bloated, and after being hit, it let out all of the blood that it had allegedly been sucking. To destroy the creature, the brothers cut out its heart and set its body on fire. Guys, that's all I have for you today. And I got to say, man, I still don't have a freaking clue. I don't want to be like, well, wouldn't we have something credible in our modern day by now? Because there's so much stuff I see and come across that just doesn't make much sense on a regular basis. I wanted to find real and true encounters with real and true vampires, but this is the stuff I'm left with. Some of it probably is real, at least what they did to the graves that they thought people were vampires. I believed in the pale caped figure. I really do. The town was almost depopulated in that last one. Why? They don't go into more detail. Perhaps someday soon I'll reach my energy out and poke around a little bit. Every once in a while when I do this, I come across something that isn't quite human, something with a lot more than a regular human brain with human thoughts. Maybe I'll reach out and find the mind of something ancient with a thirst for blood. If I do, I'll definitely let you guys know. Please be sure and give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, if you enjoyed hanging out with me, if you had fun, and if you like vampires, I suppose. Spread the love by sharing this video and subscribe if you haven't already. If you are subscribed, be sure your notification bell is turned on. Thank you very much. Also, if you would do me the great favor of checking out the description box, there you will find a link to my Wednesday night live oracle reading right here on this channel, where from 7:15 p.m. Eastern time to around 10:45, 11 p.m. Eastern time, so quite a long time, I give oracle readings, one card oracle readings to whoever wants one that comes in the chat. First come, first serve basis. It's a fun time. If you can't make the live, listen to it afterwards, because you may hear a message that resonates, and if you do, everyone gets their message at the time they're supposed to.
There we go. Everything clear. There we go. Just say it so slow. I'm so goofy looking sometimes. I look at myself in these screens. It's like, God, how do people look at me? Yeah, spell check's fine. Yeah, I wanted to see if it worked because I'm thinking about doing a new intro for her oracles if she'll let me. Yeah, she's had some interesting good things go on behind her and around her when she does oracles and some of her videos, some of our live streams. Seems like if we sometimes talk about certain subjects, everything acts up. Yeah, it's been a while. Just keep your eyes peeled because it still happens a lot more. Happened a lot at her mom's too. But her mom's house was an interesting house. Yeah, I've seen it. You know, like that night I had. Did you see the thing that crossed in front of me that one night when me, her, and Pixie was streaming? The black mist that came. I've seen shadows too. I've seen people standing behind her, and I know they're people. So I know she's got some kind of connection there. That's why I don't doubt her too much. She's so dead on, it cracks me up. Yeah, you did see that one? Yeah. So the weird stuff does go on in these streams. And I've seen other people have some weird stuff go on in their streams. I was watching a gamer one night. Don't know who it was. It's somebody I stumbled on. He was playing Resident Evil. So I was just sitting and watching him play Resident Evil. And he had his face in the corner. And I could see shadows moving behind him. At first, I thought maybe he had an animal or something. And then he started you could tell he was kind of like, what's going on? I think he was seeing it. And I didn't say anything. And then it stood behind him. And he got up, casually went to the bathroom. And I don't think that's what he was doing. I think he felt it there. I could definitely see it. I don't know how many other people saw it. But when it followed him out the door. And the shadow literally follows him out the door. And he comes back in, sits down, kind of shakes his head and starts playing again like nothing happened. Did you get a look at that beautiful sky last night? Now, I don't know if you heard me, Sid. You probably didn't. I went out last night. I should have left this area because we still have a little, it's not real bright here, but there's still enough ground light that all I got was some blues and some greens, and it was really faint. But I know if I just traveled up north about 15, 20 minutes and gotten away from the lights, I probably would have gotten some nice pictures. Even my camera's having a hard time picking it up. But I did see some color. It was nice to see it. Just being in a city. I'm like right on. I'm a suburb right on Columbus. So those lights are just starting to fade out. So I have to go out just a little farther. But yeah, I've seen the pictures. Man, there's some beautiful pictures. My house was built in 1862. Sometimes there's crazy stuff here, but I try to keep it cleansed. Yeah, it's a good thing, Mike. This is the house I grew up. Where I'm sitting was literally my bedroom as a kid. I live right next to a cemetery, but the house is an old World War II home, and my parents bought this house in 62. I think he says 62, but I swear my mom said 59. But who knows? Anyways, so we not much, but the cemetery this way. I mean, sometimes I see stuff coming and going out of the cemetery, and I've had my own experiences in there, but nothing like. Only one friend had a scariest incident down there, and he was never the same after. But yeah, it's good to keep your house clean. I take salt all around the property. He doesn't know that, but I do. It's a big terror in a home. Yeah, it probably is. Worthington's pretty old. A lot of people don't know that really Worthington was Ohio's first capital. Then Circleville, no Chillicothe, then Columbus. It's a tiny little town for a suburb. I mean, downtown is literally just like you would. If it was set off out in the middle of nowhere, it'd be exactly what you expect. The old Worthington Inn there in the downtown area, it's haunted by the owner, by almost all of its owners. My brother lived there for a while. You'd hear chairs move. You'd hear people talking. People talk about an old man that sat on the front bench in front of the place and just talked to people, would talk to him for hours, and then get up and come back to give him a drink of coffee or something, a coffee, and he'd be gone. Yeah, you guys got to see the beautiful purples and pinks. That's nice. I've seen some beautiful pictures. Some of them as far down as Louisiana, Georgia, even a few from Houston. AK's food must have been done. I'm from Boston. But we've been in New Hampshire for 35. Oh, you're in New Hampshire. 35 years? Wow, New Hampshire. So you live in New Hampshire now, Mike? I didn't know that. See, Maine, Edna lives in Maine. Vixen lives in Vermont. I always get them screwed up. The only reason I remember Edna lives in Maine because I'm going to send her a bootload of money and have her mail us some homemade crab cakes. I'm ready for some crab cakes, some good crab cakes. Pay for it. I told Dad, he was like, yeah, do it. Yeah, so much better. I bet. New Hampshire would probably be a nice place to live. I've never been as far as Jersey. New York and Jersey. Been to Pennsylvania. I say I don't really been anywhere, but now that I think about it, I've been a lot farther than I thought. I've been to Pennsylvania, I've been to West Virginia, Been to Kentucky, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida. Been to Kansas. Well, all the way back and forth from Kansas. Because I never fly, I always drive. If I can drive it, I'm driving. I'm not flying. There ain't no way. Especially now. But I'll drive. Now the drive wasn't as bad as I thought going to Jersey. It was about, I took my time and I have to get out of the car every so often because of the tremors. But it took me about 9 hours, which wasn't bad. A day's drive. I left about 7:30 and got there about 7:30, so almost 12 hours. But like I said, there was a couple times I was there a lot better than I got. Even with the construction. Yeah, I don't fly either. Nah, I'm not. I'd rather drive anyways. I want to see the sights. You know, but that's me. You know, I don't rush. Actually, the last time when I went out for Paraunity, on my way home, I stopped and checked out the mount, the furnace mounts. Check those out. That was pretty cool. And do it by myself without anybody hassling me. Let's go, I want to go. And I was like, no, I'm here. I spent about an hour there. By myself was cool. Best way to travel. Now, I hate actually driving by myself because it sucks sitting there. The first time I went out to Jersey, because I hadn't driven by myself in a long time. Usually somebody's with me. So I'd never been really a distance by myself. I must have smoked like 2 packs of cigarettes in an 8-hour trip. It was about 8.5 the first time I went out. I almost smoked 2 packs of cigarettes. Got there, and I know I smelled awful. I hit my mouth tastes like, it was like I had the hack so bad. It was like, dude, I'll never do that again. So I made sure the last couple times when I made sure I had snacks, something to nibble on. You sit in the car by yourself. But you go through the Appalachian Mountains there, you kind of start looking for Bigfoot. Every time you see good, where you can really see the mountainsides and stuff, you start looking. And they don't pay attention to the road. But there was a couple truck stop areas that I got some good stories at, so I wasn't going to complain. It was a nice drive. And they're working on turnpike, so it'll be nice when they get it done. Suburbs, yeah, I live in the suburbs too. Well, yeah, you call it suburbs. We live in the suburbs. Try traveling 6 hours with non-smokers. That was, oh, I bet that was. Oh, I bet that was awful. Pull over every half hour just to piss them off. Pull over, I didn't smoke. And 6 hours is not really that long, but yeah, smoking you gotta have, especially sitting in a car. Now I need to quit. The coffin nails are probably going to kill me, but they're my vice right now. Next to one other thing, but that's only for pain and tremors. And they've been bad. I've had a weird week with these things. I have to feel. That's always the best excuse. Pull over, I gotta go now. Run in there, smoke a quick butt, and get out. Okay, that was better. Thank you. Why do you smell like cigarettes? Well, you gotta smoke while you pee because you can't smoke in the car. That's funny. That's the best excuse you can have to sneak out to get one. Yeah, I also at one time helped install hotel televisions when the hotel opened up, and the guy I had the room with, he didn't smoke, and this was before you couldn't smoke and you were still allowed to smoke in hotel room. So I had to go outside every time I wanted to smoke. He was a good guy, just it was kind of odd. And then he freaked out because I tried to tell him I rock in my sleep. He goes, "Oh, my leg rocks back and forth." Then I said, "No, dude, I rock in my sleep." He freaked out the first night. Like, dude, I thought you were having a seizure. I told you I rock in my sleep. And that's before they knew it was Tourette. So I couldn't say, "Hey, I have Tourette." He probably thought I was possessed for the first couple minutes because I get to cruising, man. It's like, good old Edna must have fell asleep. I'm glad she fell asleep. She needs rest. You all need rest. Go to bed, folks. What are you hanging out with me for? Glad you are. You know what I forgot to do? She's going to kill me. 1 second, folks. I knew I forgot to do it. That's all right. I'll fix it right now if it will let me. One second. There we go. Much better. She can't be mad now. So I didn't catch that time. I just got home. I'm wide awake. Oh, are you? Yeah, I'm kind of like chilled. I did have a cup of coffee about an hour ago, but that doesn't do anything for me. I could drink a cup of coffee and still go to bed if I was tired or not. It's just getting my body stuff. You just got home. Now you got big plans for tomorrow there, Cindy? And you're gonna be with your mom, right? That's good. Where's Ryan? I know Ryan's gonna be with his mom. Hope everybody's having a wonderful night too. For those, like I said, ghosted, thank you for hanging out. Appreciate it so much. Actually, that was a good video. I should have talked so much. And next week I'll do another one of her vampire ones because she likes the vampire stuff. So those are some of the favorite topics for her. And then maybe I'll get into some of the alien stuff she did. Like I said, I'm trying to watch how much I do because I do want people to go back and watch. Years ago. Oh, wait, I missed all that. When I was in the Scouts, there was a kid who slammed his leg up and down while he slept. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's a couple. That is, even though it's more prominent in adults, restless leg syndrome, they thought that's what I had. But when they realized my whole body just cruised, I did it ever since I was 2 years old. I break beds, break cribs. I think everybody knows that already. And I've only met maybe 2 other people like me with just a little bit of differences. I mean, you don't know. I'm literally bouncing around this chair more than you realize. But I actually like doing this because it is good therapy. I didn't know if I'd like streaming, but I kind of enjoy just hanging out with you guys. There are times I wish I had a little more organized content, but I just enjoy hanging out with you folks. I think that's because I really get time to chat with you guys. Hello, Vixen, and good morning to you, dear. $350. You're going to give me $350? Well, thank you. I went to bingo with my daughter, and I won $250. That's awesome. I hope you're doing well, Vixen, and having a good weekend, hon. And I hope you have a good Mother's Day, good Ladies' Day, whatever day. $250 is not bad. Not bad at all. Now my kids will be busy with their families tomorrow. I'll be on my own. Oh, babe. You make them come over and make you dinner. The man away, I hear you lay down on a table. Good. Next time you cook, I'm coming next Thanksgiving. Bring in Bob. I might even bring the Gemma, the boss. We'll make a big party out of it. Actually, you're in between the stops, so. I hit the wrong ditch in year 5, Mike. And my toes like a cat when I sleep. Oh, you curl your toes? Yes, my dad does that too. I need my toes. Me and my dogs. Hey, I love you. But I'd make those kids come and make you dinner. If you can't come Sunday, you're coming Monday night. You can come here and you're going to give me the whole works. I told them that You're more than welcome anytime. I know you. I know that. It'd be nice. I'd like to see a lot of you guys. I would like. Gemma talks about doing this thing with Jersey Devil. I don't have a problem with that. But see, I'm pretty private, so I don't know if I could house with a bunch of people. I'd probably rent a camper because of my rocking. I would drive people nuts. Pacing the house all out. They'd be scared of me in the middle of the night, pacing around like I do. Yeah, it's pretty wild. My ex-wife, she slept with her eyes open. It drove me nuts because I'd roll over and start talking to her and then realize she was asleep. She didn't do it too often. I mean, I don't know if she still does or not. It'd be like she wouldn't do it for a couple of nights, and then all of a sudden, like 3 or 4 nights, she'd do it. I had a friend that did sleepwalking. That was always crazy to see. You're selling your RV? Are you really? Well, you said I know why you. Yeah. You know what? What do you want for it? Let me know what you want for it. You got my email. Send me a picture of it and tell me what you want for it. Seriously. Eyes open, yep. Oh, it was weird, dude. She'd do it sometimes when she got drunk. And I'd roll over and start talking to her, and it's like, oh, damn it, she's asleep. Oh, it'd freak you out. It'd freak people out. My female dog does. You see is the whites of their eyes is freaky. Yeah. Sometimes it would just be the white. Sometimes it looked like she was looking at me. It was like really creepy. It's too big for you, for me. Yeah, just let me know what you want for it. If you can't, send me pictures. You got my email. I may be interested, believe it or not. Heck, how come you're in Vermont, right? It's like you and everybody's so mixed up north up there. No, you're not, are you? Are you? I'd come get it though. I'd bring my son with me. No sweat. Yeah, if it's a good price, I can pull the money out of my butt. Yeah, I might. Maine. That's it, Maine. I thought. Oh, yeah. You're with Edna, right? Edna's in Maine too. You're both in Maine, right? I got that right. Man, I screw this up every time. And Mike's in New Hampshire. Cindy's in Pennsylvania. What kind of work does it need? But yeah, send me pictures. I'm yeah, just send me pictures. I am curious, Fix. It truly am. So you got pictures, take pictures of it and send them to me. And you have an idea of a price and work on it from there if it piques my interest. Yeah, Maine is a beautiful state. All that up there, Maine, Maryland. I thought she was in Maine too. Maybe she's in Maryland. I screw it up every time. And it is Maryland. Thank you. See, I screw it up every time. Yeah, because I want those crab cakes. My laugh is even goofy tonight. I will. Yeah, no rush. Just when you get a chance, take some pictures and send them to you. I'm curious. Lots of woods, yes. Actually, I like to watch. Me and Dad like to watch those ranger shows that they do up in Maine and New Hampshire and Maryland and all along there, New York, upper state New York, and all that. Have you seen those? Those are really good. In that countryside. But see, I went out to Colorado and went up in those Rocky Mountains, man. It was hard to leave. I fell in love with that place. It like called to me. Yeah, Pennsylvania has lots of woods also. Yeah, you got the whole Appalachian Mountain thing going. Kentucky, Tennessee. Ohio's pretty woody too. Not as much as it used to be, but it is. Especially southern Ohio. Not much. Indiana. I'll tell you what, it was when I first went out to Kansas, it was like, man, there's nothing out here. This is boring already. But it was nice to stop at the Budweiser. That was in the day when you went in for the tour, and at the end of the tour, you got to sit at a bar and drink all day for free. That was a mistake. That was on our honeymoon. She had to drive the rest of the way. I got a little too drunk. A little too tipsy. Bought a lot of tick repellent yesterday. Want to get out into the woods more this year. Yeah, keep your eyes. Hey, Black Dragon, how you doing, sir? Simplify. I hope you're well, sir. I had you on the list for the reading the other night, but you disappeared, man. I was going to make you last like I always do. Since I don't really, she gives me a reading every so often. She tries to, I'm giving you a read. But I always make you last. You disappeared. And we did see you the other night. You're not, as far as I know, you're not shadow banned with us, dude. You were coming in clear. Oh, you were at work? You were at work. I got you. I love the woods. I have no problem with the woods. Yeah, they kind of call to me, but I love the mountains. I don't mind the ocean, but I'm not scared of much. If you get me out in the middle of the ocean, out in the middle of nowhere, I might be a little on the edgy side. I'm not afraid of drowning as much as what's underneath me. You can't see what's underneath you. At least not until the last. A lot of times, it's not until the last month. If I post it in live, then I will be listening to the end. Okay, I'll know that now. So just remember, I'll remember that, Black Dragon. You come in and you have to work or something. I'll make sure I'll let her know that she doesn't have to really timestamp you. Just know you're the last one. And then if there's timestamps, they'll probably be after yours. Just know that. So if you see timestamps in the comments, you know you're before the timestamps. Cool. I kind of, I miss you guys when you come and disappear and come, but that's what I get. I roam around too as much as I can. Fortunately, they won't let me go back to work. I would love to go back. Yeah, I can do that for you, but I'm sure Gemma would have no problem with that. Love the words. Yeah, the tick thing. No, I haven't had a problem with ticks since I got older. And mosquitoes don't bother me either. They always fly away doing like this. So they don't bother me. Yeah, but I'm more than happy to do that for you. I don't think Gemma have a problem. I mean, you're a regular pretty much. She worries about a lot of you guys when you don't show up for like 2 or 3 weeks. She starts saying, where's this person at? Where's that person? It's like, hey, Black Dragon, have you talked to Ann Palmer at all? We got to talking about her not too long ago, and I haven't seen or heard from her for a long time. She usually pops in. This seems like somebody must tell her I call for her, or asked about her, and she'll pop in, but I haven't seen her for a while. I hope she's well. Yeah, I figured you are at work. Now, were you at work a lot of the times when she did the Wednesday night shows too? Oh, she uses Maureen Palmer now? But I still haven't seen her. Interesting. Yes. Yeah, there's like a bunch of us that have been around for a while since Steve Stockton and all of them. Yeah, Black Dragon says she goes by Marie now. That's good. So you have seen her and you've talked to her and she's doing good. That's all that matters. I mean, I used to stay up with her during Steve's, when he reads. When they were doing the story thing, I'd sit and talk to her all night. I ran to Marie over at Steve Stockton last night. Okay. Oh, he was on last night? Figures. I even see Ann on last weekend. Cool. Okay, just as long as she's good and well. I haven't been over to SR for a while. I need to go in there and say hi. Steve doesn't like me, so that's fine. I mean, he's cordial when I pop in. I mean, I respect the guy. I haven't seen any of his stuff since he came back. But I'm glad you've seen her. I just used to seeing her popping in and out, and she's kind of like Pammy, come and goes. And I just got to think about her not too long ago. I just wanted to make sure she was doing okay. That's all that matters. He's doing a creepy missing marathon. Oh, is he? He's got that gold voice. I can't say anything. Now, as for the person himself, I'm just glad he got married. Maybe he'll chill out now. Nah, he's a good guy. Gemma just didn't work. It happens. But a good choice of marathon, missing marathon. Man, it's funny all these people get sued about a lot of these missing stories now. B-Ball, he's having some issues. Pilates had some issues. I'm trying to get back to my normal schedule. I've been having trouble with YouTube and Google. My biggest problem hasn't been with them as much as it is with Facebook. Now, I had to leave Facebook once because me and Facebook didn't get along. Now, I haven't had the only problem I've had since I've been back, and the only reason I came back was because of Gemma. And the only problem I had was, and still having, is I'd get friends list, and I'd all of a sudden would start realizing I'm not getting people's posts, and I'd go look at my friends list, and they're gone. It's like what they do with YouTube channels. All of a sudden, these people are gone. I got tired of fighting with them. Oh, you're banned? Yeah. See, I didn't get banned. I just kept getting booted. They kept, time outing me. It was like, screw this. Yeah, Facebook. It's really easy to get in trouble there. And they're such hypocrites too. I mean, they talk, oh, you can't do dirty things, but yet I get some of the rudest looking ads, some X-rated ads at times. It's like, what the heck, man? Mike Roberts, I'm sure, is doing good. I've seen his posts on Facebook. He does monk life. He likes to go into hiding, and he, has his thing. I'm sure if we say his name enough, he'll sooner or later pop up in one of the streams. But I'm sure he's good. I usually give him a few weeks before I yell for him, because he's going through a lot. He goes through a lot. He's a lot going on around him. So I'm on the verge of getting banned from sharing stuff from Facebook. Yeah, it cracks me up. I don't know what it is with Facebook. And they're all just crap. That's why I don't do Twitter or X, whatever it's called. I did it for like a whole month, not even that, and I dumped it. Same thing with Instagram. I only did it because I was involved in a mystery box thing, and you had to be on there to win extra boxes. I dumped it as soon as I got tired of that, and then I never did any of the other ones. I was on Parlor for a while, but that didn't last long. I can't count how many times I've been. Yeah, I was. That's what was happening with me the first time I was on Facebook. It was like every time I turned around, I was going to Facebook jail, and it's real easy to get hacked on Facebook too. And I don't know why, but it is horribly bad. So you got to watch who you talk to, because same thing here with YouTube. A lot of people channels get hacked. All you have to do is answer a comment, and next thing you know, your channel's gone. So it's really easy to do those two. Now YouTube's gotten a little better about it. But Facebook, people constantly get their accounts hacked all the time. Their page. I got to post my mom's Mother's Day video, and they better let me. I'm gonna ban myself. Like, there's a lot of reason I'm on it. Well, all you guys, I'm now that I'm on Facebook, I've got, when I was on Facebook, I was really hardly even talking to my kids. And I don't follow my kids, and my kids don't follow me, which is kind of like I don't want to be nosy. The ex does all that. And she keeps tabs on them, which is fine. I don't. So, but then, like I said, I was just constantly fighting with them the first time on Facebook. I mean, it was like every time I post something, I was in Facebook jail for a couple of days. Like, screw this, I left. And then Gemma, I'd said something to Gemma, and she would, you need to come back to Facebook. And then I found it to be important because now I'm streaming with her. I like to help promote. So they shouldn't bother you, Gemma. I mean, Cindy. I hope not for a Mother's Day post. I'd be pretty bold to do that on a Mother's Day post. And by the way, now that it's really officially Mother's Day, happy Mother's Day again. To all the ladies out there watching or watch the replay, I hope you all had a good Mother's Day. A lot of my comments get flagged, and they suggest I delete it. Oh my God. That's because some people. That's another thing. I mean, it don't help when you got people posting stuff. They probably should just, you can say things without causing all kinds of trouble. I mean, it should be freedom of speech, but it never works out that way. So I don't even know why I made that comment. Because you can't say anything anymore. On Facebook, you got to be careful on YouTube. Yes, Black Dragon, happy Mother's Day. That's a big one. We got here 1:39. Y'all probably take it to about 2. It's kind of casual tonight. Now, like I said, for the folks that are watching, I'll be off at here probably 2. Nobody on tomorrow. Monday, Gemma's 2 videos. No, I can't forget that. I'm doing so good. She got 2 videos, one at 11 and one at noon. I don't know what the noon one is. She told me, and I forgot. She can beat me later. And her Monday 11 o'clock video is The Watcher of the Westfield House. That's the one where somebody was watching these people, and he knew everything about them. He was telling them it was his job to watch. It was weird. That'll be a good one. I got signs for posting parts of the U.S. country. See, I did too, Black Dragon. I did too. The first time. I was posting all kinds of stuff like that. I was in my like radical phase. That's when I was really doing a lot of really deep research for a couple people on Telegram. And I was also posting things about the P word, that, like, anyways, and I was, stirring the pot, as one might say. A couple of my posts, as soon as I posted, boom, they were gone. It's like, no, come on. And that wasn't bad. It was just what I was saying. And I don't like that when you speak the truth. And they definitely don't like you posting stuff about the Constitution. No, they don't. I don't know why. Well, we do, but that's a whole different ballgame. But yeah, it's going to get, and now that the election year is coming, it's just going to get worse again. It's pretty sad when you have paranormal channels that shouldn't have to worry about things like that, have to worry about it. It's just stupid. That happens to me here on YouTube. I will post and it doesn't stick. Now, just so you know, Black Dragon, sometimes I will post stuff and it will disappear, and I'll wait a couple days and go back and look, and it's back. So the comments are being reviewed. So always go back and look and see if it doesn't pop back up. If it did pop back up, they didn't like what you said. My brother made me a post that his nurse reminds him of Kathy Bates, and he was kind of scared. So I commented, if she comes in with a hammer deck, they come in with a hammer decker, and they flagged it. Oh yeah, they flagged Gemma for just piddly stuff like that. And they suggested I remove that. Like, I'm just being rotten. It's not like I'm meaning to do it. Yeah, Gemma got nailed for a couple like comments like that. It was like she laughed. She was like, what the heck? Matter of fact, they jailed her for like 3 days or something like that one time. She's texting me, hey, you need to toast this for me and post this for me. Bless her heart. That's how it shows you how picky they're getting. And it's only going to get worse. I hate to say it. It's going to be a crazy, crazy ride, folks. So you better hold on to your butts. So anybody listening or watching, anything good coming up? Any good streams that we should know about? Any activities, any conventions going on around in the States that some of these people might be close to that want to come? Just post them, please, or bring it up in chat. Just got done grilling. I figured you were eating. Hope it's good. Our kebabs were good, man. Grandpa Chow, man. It's always good to see Pop Chow. He regrets it, but he eats. He's at that age now where he eats, and it goes pretty much straight through it. Bless his heart. A couple more months, that man will be 91. I'll be so proud, so happy. Cindy, I was hit for making that joke. Said virgins are like unicorns, can only find them in. Yeah, I can see them doing that to you for that, Black. Easy. Spaced Out Radio is doing their meet and greet in Reno right now. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's cool. I still listen to him sometime during the week on the radio. But I haven't been in for a while. I have to sharpen my tambourine skills. I told my uncle to stop acting like it, and they flagged me for hate crime. Yeah, I can see that too. So I didn't say it. So be careful what you type, Cindy, because they'll do the same thing here in chat. I don't think they'll notice that. If they do, well. That's nothing that they can't really fight me on a D on that one unless you keep using the word. I'm lead tambourine player now. There you go, bro. Oh, no, you're fine. See, don't apologize. I'm just warning you. Yeah, because they're getting picky. But the thing is, the trolls are going to pick up again, too, now the election is getting closer. I got my native made flute, Mike J. Going to spend some time this year with it this year. There you go. He can bang the tambourine while you play your flute. That sounds awesome. Actually, it does sound kind of awesome. We should start a band. I'm pretty good on the pans. I shake the heck out of it. Buddy, you're killing me. Were you playing the tambourine last Monday there, Mike? That was a bad joke. That was a really bad joke. Had Sydney joined the band club. I think she's already been there. Poor woman. Maybe. I was saying things too. I was trying to be a little more careful. From what I understand, she was giggling while she was watching. She was getting a good giggle. And then it made it even better when Edna kind of behaved, boys. More tambourine. Isn't that more cowbell? That's what we need. Now you guys need a cowbell player. She was wearing plaid. You have a thing for plaid, too. She looked good. She's worn that outfit before. I told her you look good at it. Well, she dresses up nicely. Yes, she does. Dang it, was the cowbell. Dang it, it was the cowbell. Yeah, it was the cowbell. Like I can play the spoon and fork, especially. What's when you take the comb and wrap the Reynolds wrap around it? Especially when it involves bacon. I just finished that. The Scorpion Express said the F for every couple words YouTube know. Oh, look at Salty Cracker. Man, I got cusses up a storm. There's a bunch of them to get away with. Well, they won't touch Salty because he sued him a couple times. And they make too much money off of him. And those people that cuss like that usually bring in good money. So they won't say anything because they're making money off them. They're getting 30%. Hey, Tambourine. Hey, that's a good song. I did the hokey pokey and everything. You gotta kill him. You're killing me, man. You're giving me a brain tumor. You guys do. You need to start a band. There you go. I'm not sleepy, and there is no place I am to go. I am going to. I'm not as much sleepy as I'm getting antsy. I'm gonna bounce out of this chair pretty soon. Actually, because I sat over there at the ex. I will say it's really weird to go over at your exes and have a good time. Yeah, I know. Bob Dylan. I'm only good at screwing up music. That's why I was in a punk band. Black Dragon. I was good at screwing up music. I shouldn't say that because I love my punk. That's fun. Yeah, Edna must have fell asleep. Good night, Edna. I hope you have a good Mother's Day. I toned the frown. Too funny. That shit looks good. I like Gemma. Gemma is the whole package. Gotten to know well enough to be able to say that. Now, I don't have no talent either. Like, I barely talk. You can hear me singing. Though in the day, it wasn't too bad. Down. Now, you should have put an F in it when you said Edna yelled at me, so I toned a frown would have sounded better. It's all right, dude. You should see me. You should see how bad it is on my phone. I have the worst time. I'd have to get a big phone with big buttons. That's why I didn't mind the flip phones, because the buttons were big. So I could type with those. Other than you had to go A, B, B, C, A, B, B, C. And Gemma, she voice texts. So it's like, and then if I voice text, I can only imagine what it reads because she'll read the transcript. And I know how bad I talk. I can only imagine what it says. You think autocorrect is bad. You can imagine what it sounds like me trying to voice text somebody and they're trying to read the transcript. Just haven't discovered it yet. Somebody. Yeah, you can probably find it. It's probably out there. Yeah, I know your one talent. From what you say, you can cook. That's music to my ears. I tried to make it funny there. Dad joke. Hey. Trying to figure out what we're doing here. Hello, 10 people. Welcome. I hope you're having a good night. I know a lot of people out here roaming around. It's still early in some places too, so and late, and then morning some other places. I hope Slow Motion's doing good. I haven't heard from them for a bit. I hope they are well. I know they're coming here very soon. No, I got no musical talent at all. I should ask. Cindy can cook. Yes, she can cook. Cindy can cook. You should have heard her talking about her Thanksgiving spread that she had last year. Man, I'd have been there eating all day. I'm trying to get rid of the weight, not gain it. Yeah, you better hit that thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. I would. I'd appreciate it very much. I'm sure Gemma would too. And I hope all you folks that are just coming in are having a good night, enjoying the streams that are going on or whatever else. We just got done watching a classic Gemma video about, what, an hour ago? It was a short one. Sometimes I could do two. I was doing two for a while, then I felt bad because then I get done with the second one. It was like, oh, God, I'm tired. I'm moving on. But yeah, if all you new people coming in, I'm here for a little bit longer. Then I'm out. And Monday, Gemma's got her two videos at 11 and at noon. I don't remember what the noon one is, but the one at 11 is The Watcher of the Westfield, which is about that crazy person that was watching these people living in this house. Said it was his job. It's a crazy story, so check it out. Tuesday Talk at 1 with Gemma, me, and Ryan. So please come hang out. Then I'm back here Wednesday night. I'm not doing 10 to midnight anymore. I'm doing midnights. So to come in, hang out for a little bit, an hour or two, whatever. Do pretty much what we're doing right now. We just, usually after Gemma's video, I figure we just hang out. So that's what we do. So if you want to join in, you got something you want to say or some cool stream that's coming up that you want to let people know about, please do so. Conventions or paranormal conventions or anything, Bigfoot conventions going on, please let us know. And I see, I'm usually like on Wednesday night, basically all I am is a moderator. I'll let you guys run the chat and just have a good time. Kind of like when Stockton used to run the stories and everybody just come in to hang out. Sometimes I tell stories. Sometimes we get some good conversations going. I have a lot to say. Sometimes I have a hard time saying it. So I just make these fun streams. Someday maybe I'll do a stream where I'm just focused on one particular subject. I don't think I can ever do I may try I got 2 pre-recorded done that I may post on Rumble. I'm still deciding. I'm going to have to post them there because I kind of speak my mind in a couple of them. So, and one of them. I can't knit or crochet, Cindy. I'm in knitters. Man, I never could do any of that. Stuff. They tried to teach me how to knit. I don't know why. I think they were just trying to give me something to do, help focus. Cindy, I'm a woman who can cook is a most beautiful woman in the world. That's right. That's true. I don't know about that, Black Dragon. I got a big family to feed on the holidays. Yeah, from what you've said, all those grandkids. How many? I think she's got, Black Dragon, I think she's got like 2,000 grandkids or something like that. Oh, Dick, can you? Yeah, I think they were trying to teach me a lot, stuff. Well, I draw. Well, I used to. It's hard now. In fact, the Batman back there is one of my art. And I think Cindy's got, those are the last 2 things I did. Gemma's got one of the other Batman, and I did that Batman. And those were the last 2 things I've done, other than just trying to doodle. I just can't. My hands is nightmare now. I'm been pilling around with painting. I do make models though. I do enjoy painting and making models. Gen Z just don't get my sense of humor. No, see, and that's all right. They've got their own sense of humor. I don't really have too much problem with the Gen Z. I mean, my son's Gen Z. He's pretty good. He knows better. I'll smack him upside the head. Now, I'm just kidding, YouTube. He's 30 years old. I learned to watching my mom. You're Gen X. Are you? I'm just old. But then again, I am kind of a dragon in a way. Ask Black Dragon, we're old. We live for hundreds and thousands of billions of years. We've seen things you can't even imagine. Right, Dragon? Mine is 26. Yep, Dragon. You see, he knows. Dragon and Dragon. It's funny because I put mine was Dragon ZW for a long time. No, it was Stephen Lee Davis, and I changed it to Dragon ZW. Actually, Black Dragon is the reason I added Ghost Dragon, because everybody kept saying Dragon, and I kept thinking they were talking to me. You're 51. Oh, your kid's 26. Yeah, mine's 30. I have a 38-year-old, 37-year-old, a 36-year-old, and a 30-year-old. No, wait, that's not right. I have Giles is 30, Sammy is 34, and Ashley's 37. There's a gap between that, Sammy and Giles. I'm not going to tell you how old I am. I'm probably just as old as most dragons. I'm X years old. There you go. That's the way to look at it. X. Only one that I'm aware of. I don't know. My baby's 39. Now, see, I have brothers in the 60s. My oldest brother, I think, just turned. Oh, he should be turning. No, he just turned, I think, 67, 68. And then I have a brother that's 2 years younger than him. I'm 3 years younger than him. And my little brother, God rest his soul, was 4 years younger than me. My poor dad's got stuck with 4 boys. I told him, I said, after you have 2 daughters, believe me, Dad, be glad you had the boys. At least we fight and it's over with. Boom, get it done. Girls fight for months. For months. Your oldest sister's 66. I said, yeah, it's wild. And it's weird was because I only remember a very short time where all 4 of us boys lived in the house together. A very short time. Once I started getting to like my middle school years, my oldest 2 brothers were done gone. And then it was me and my little brother. Hey, there's lottery numbers right there. Yeah, somebody write those down and play those. Hey, play at 66 and 39. You got 39 in there. But you got to play that 66 too. Bunch of old goats. Yeah. However goat sounds. I sound like a sheep there. Girls hold grudges. My sister still won't tell me. Tell me. Yeah, they do. I'm telling you, they do. Should try playing them through. It's easier to watch something. I'll tell you what, there's nothing much. There's nothing like sisterly love and brotherly love. I tell you what. I watched my 2 oldest brothers have this huge fight. And next thing I know, my brother Mike comes running out of the garage chasing my brother Tim with a shovel. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And he throws the shovel at my brother. And a famous funny car racer, Tom Schumacher, lived across the street from us. And he just brought home a brand new Thunderbird. And that shovel hit the side of that door. That guy come running out of that garage. I thought he was going to get his butt kicked from one end of the street to the other. And my dad saved his butt. I have to play them back. Good luck. You're jealous of me because I'm a baby. And I see my little brother was the baby of the family. You're the baby. So usually how they work. The youngest is usually the most spoiled. That's fun. So my mom definitely toted over my little brother. Close both their hearts. I think he was lost after she left. After she had to get, when she moved on, I should say. Wicked. I'll tell you, my 2 daughters, they'd go at it, man. It'd be like weeks. And that's one thing I said about the boys. Now, Giles was my calm one. I mean, until he got into his early teens, after we split up, after me and the ex split up, he was a little rough to handle. Was playing hide and seek. One of the kids was waiting for a pitchfork. Was waiting with a pitchfork. Oh, that's nice. Jeez. Come and get me. My brother tossed a piece of rhubarb at me, which struck in my back of my. Oh, dude! Ow! Yeah, I'm surprised Mike didn't hit Tim with that shovel. I'm kind of glad he hit the car because he chucked that baby too hard. It would have messed him up. That does sound. Rhubarb is not good stuff either, man. I've been smacked with that stuff. It's left. I've got a couple scars from being smacked with a rhubarb. And swords. I got all kinds of slice marks with swords. The other things we did as kids fighting with each other. I felt bad. We used to have 2 trees in our front yard. And the one kind of split up and it was easy to climb. The other one Dad cut down because it was an old oak tree. And the one branch would come out and split. And we'd pile all the leaves underneath that split and jump out of the split. He was so afraid. He was so afraid we were going to break one of our arms. But me and this girl's brother were climbing up the tree, and she started following us up the tree, calling us names. So I stepped on her hand, and she fell out of the tree and broke her arm. I cried for days. And then when she saw me the next time, she kicked me right in the nuts. I deserved it, though. I couldn't yell at her. I felt so bad. So I gave her a free one, basically. My brother and I fought like we were trying to kill each other. Most boys do. They fight, boom, boom. And then they usually in play to get all their anger out, and it's usually done and over with until they get mad at each other again. No, it's not the same these days. They like just go bang bang to each other. I got to be careful what I say. Yeah, I worry about our kids sometimes today, and don't help it. I apologize to any teachers that might listen, but there's some teachers out there that shouldn't be teaching. That's for sure. We've had 2 scandals here in Worthington with teachers in like 2 years. The last 2 years. It's nuts. I punched my baby brother through the kitchen door window, and we were, oh, jeez. Today's kids wouldn't survive what we went through. Oh, no. I mean, I look at this, some of the stuff people post on Facebook about, the past. Man, we did everything. Problem is today, everybody's got a phone in their hand or a game system. Now, see, I like my game system because sometimes my game system helps me keep a little control of my hands and eye movement, and helps me keep them exercised, keeps my brain thinking. And I don't live on it. I can only play for about an hour before I start to get tremors really bad. If I play any longer than that, it's kind of pushing it. I gave him a black eye. And myself 21 stitches. Oh, gosh. They go to the park but sit on a swing with their phones. Yeah. I can't stand seeing that. It bums me out. I mean, now I will say this. There was a while here in the neighborhood. There wasn't too many kids. After we all grew up and left, there was like a small little trinkle of some kids playing. And then it was like a lot of older people, but they've seen all. My dad, I believe, other than one other person, are the last 2 sole people still living here from my day, from my mother's day, my brother's day, our day here. And now it's nice to see because I'm not seeing these kids out. These people get their kids out and play. Guys got a basketball hoop down at the bottom of the street. They're down there playing, or they're out in the street playing soccer in the street. And so it's nice to see that because, man, I remember the day when we used to play stickball and play Ghost in the Graveyard in the graveyard. Running through woods. Oh, yeah. I lived by the river and the creek. I was kind of hoping the solo players would knock out cell phones. Yeah, it probably wouldn't hurt AK, but there's still a chance because we're getting hit by G5s right now, which is considered extreme. and we're in an extreme alert. So if you're living in Canada and anything north, I'd say anywhere from northern states up, there's a big chance that you're probably having interference. You're probably, if you have an antenna TV, you're probably having a hard time. Your radio service is probably, if you use a radio, it's probably not playing the best. So I'm sure they're having disruptions up there. It's beautiful, but like I said, everybody goes, "Oh, those lights are beautiful." But yeah, that's a sign. They're saying these could be some of the biggest ones we've had in over 500 years. So wow. And the sun has been real active. I would be lost without my cell phone. But see, that's the problem. Everybody's gotten too dependent on it. We play a game every time we go out. We look to see how many phones, how many payphones are out. I have found one payphone that still works, which shocked the crap out of me. Aren't you, AK? Are you in Texas, right? Where up? Are you up farther? Why do I think you're in Texas? Are you in Texas? So that's the thing. Everybody tells me where they're from, and I get them all mixed up. Do they have? I lost that. Good luck finding them. Like I said, here in Columbus, I have found one payphone that actually works. Other than that, they're either all ripped up or they're gone. There's none left. Where they used to be, there's nothing. I can survive without I could too, easy. I barely take mine phone. Everybody gets mad because the first thing I do when I come home is I take my phone and I set it on the shelf right beside me. And that's where I turn it up just enough I can hear it. Alaska. You haven't had any problems, really? Wow. That's right. You are in Alaska. Why did I get that to Texas? Oh, because you can always grilling out. You haven't seen one for years. The sky was a beautiful electric blue the night before. You should have really good ones. Now, Vixen, you're up there, and I'm sure you've had some beautiful lights, AK. I know. Oh, no, that's probably awesome. You should too, Vixen. Like I said, all we got was a little bit of blues. You really had to stress. I'm going to have tomorrow night because these will hit tomorrow. I'll go out tomorrow night. I'll go up north as soon as it gets dark and go and see if I can get some pictures because those are some beautiful pictures. I got too many grandkids, Yeah, that's true. You do. You have a lot. It's nice to have that phone on handy. Sandy, I don't have a choice either. My father hates hospitals. Yeah, my dad hates hospitals too. He goes, I don't know how you do it, Steve. And I go, I don't like doing it. You see, he's still trying to understand the things I see. I didn't hear you with that for him. I bet a payphone would be worth lots of. I'm just wondering if you start looking at antique phones, if you'd find payphones, if somebody would have a payphone in one of them. There's probably somebody out there in an antique store somewhere that's probably got a couple payphones. Antique Roadshow. Yeah, you'd probably be one day when you see that happen. Look what I got. Oh, that's worth billions of dollars. See, I try to tell Dad, the funny thing is if service goes out, landlines would still be working. So I always kind of laugh. I told Dad you should have never gotten rid of your landline. And good luck trying to get him to come back out and hook it back up. So if you got a landline, keep it. Don't give it up. But last night there was so much cloud. Yeah, a lot of places had cloud cover, especially over here on the east. Now they're considering us as, I never considered us part of the Midwest, but Ohio's considered part of the Midwest. I always kind of consider us more of the East. I hate hospitals. A lot of people hate hospitals. The problem I hate hospitals is things I see in them. I mean, it's like going to the store for me or going to the gas station. I hate someone died next to me. Oh, it tripped me out a bit. Probably did. I haven't had a landline for 15 years. It's been, I think he turned his off. They turned theirs off. Probably about 2 years before Mom passed. Maybe even longer than that. And I told him he should have never done it because, people that have landlines can still use their phone. And you can call a you can call a cell phone from a landline. So yes, I don't like going, but I've gotten to the point where now I just don't fight it anymore. I go because I have to. But I hate the hospitals. Though the one of my favorite hospitals to go to is its own reasons because the food is good. The food is always awesome. That's hard to say. It's hard. It's kind of wild to say that about a hospital food, but yeah, I haven't got a bad meal there yet. Oh yeah, Mom. Yeah, Cindy. I had a couple friends that had to happen, and I felt so bad for them. That's a bunch of crap. I don't even want to touch that subject. What we got here? We went over 2 o'clock. We sure did. AK must be eating. Are you eating? AK, is it good? I think I'm gonna get ready to call it here, folks. Make it a quiet night. I'll take it to 2:30 and call it at 2:30. 2.5 hours is good. Slowly get back into these long nights. Edna's not here to make fun of me, so I'm kidding, Edna, because I know you're gonna go back and watch it. That was great. I'm sure it was. It sounded good, dude. It sounded real good. Now, where you at in Alaska, AK? Because I almost moved to shoot. Set tip my tongue again. I almost moved there. I was looking at a couple places. And I was going to go up to the Northern Territories with a friend. He went up there, and I haven't heard from him. Nobody's heard from him. I hope he's okay. I laugh because this guy, he was prepared. He was a military guy, so I know he could survive up there. He was done with everything. He said, "I'm done. I'm gone," and he left. Yes, it is sad, Vixen. It is sad, and unfortunately, a lot of people went that way where family didn't get to say goodbye. I'm just glad my mom went before all that hit, because I was there when she went, and that made it a lot easier for me. Though there was still a lot of things that should have been said. Yes, I think I am going to call it. I agree with you, Mike. Folks, have a wonderful night. Thank you for hanging with me. You guys have a wonderful day tomorrow. Have a wonderful Mother's Day. So please, all you folks, have a wonderful Mother's Day tomorrow night. Enjoy your time with your families and friends, children. Same thing with you guys out there and folks of all this world. When you're taking care of your kids. And yes, Cindy, and I will see you guys on the flip side. Watch Zoomer on YouTube. There you go. Hey, I actually been to one. They're pretty cool, and they're right. I mean, they make a big deal out of it too. It's almost bigger than wrestling over there. It is bigger than wrestling over there. You're welcome, Vixen. And folks, you be well. And I will probably see you guys Monday for 11 and 12 o'clock videos. And those who see me bopping around in chats, because I'm always bopping around. Oh, Latro, you forgot I was on, and I'm getting ready to sign off, dude. I wondered where you was. I figured you were out checking out everybody else. I know other people are streaming right now. I know SR is doing their thing. Black Dragonfield is in there. Well, Latro, you have a good day tomorrow. Enjoy your Sunday. Yes, please hit those thumbs up. Don't be afraid to leave a comment, good or bad. Just be respectful. That's all I ask. No dirty language. You guys be well and be safe. And yes, have a wonderful night, folks. I tip hat to you all too, Latro. And yes, have a wonderful Mother's Day. It's supposed to be beautiful here, so I think we're just going to work around the house since we did our thing today. Since Mom's gone, I'll probably go down and visit her grave. But you guys have a wonderful day, wonderful night, and I'll see you guys Monday about 11 for her video. Much love, and yes, a lot of love to the mothers out there. Guys, good